no simple supper is complete without a dessert. And in my world, that's going to be cookies. You have your main course soup, your lovely side dish, all healthy, supports the purpose of your life, but so do cookies. All right, in this bowl, I have a vegan butter substitute that's been softened. There's really a reason that you bring butter or coconut oil or whatever you're using to room temperature, and so it's easier to mix, okay? So that's kind of smooshed around in the bottom of the bowl. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of brown rice syrup, roughly. You can measure it if you choose to. You know, there's this myth out there that baking is this amazing science and you have to have a rocket science degree to be able to bake. You don't. About a teaspoon of vanilla, especially cookies. Cookies are so forgiving. So if you want to like think about baking but you're nervous, start with cookies. About 6 tablespoons of coconut sugar, more or less. Now the reason I use the 2 sweeteners, both are low glycemic index. Both of them give you great flavor. The rice syrup helps the cookies to set. The coconut sugar gives them cookie texture. It's brilliant. So you mix those together. And then we're going to add some coconut, a pinch of salt to make the cookies sweet. Trust me on this one. And then we'll add about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Please use organic peanut butter. You can use creamy or crunchy, I don't care. About 2 tablespoons. Again, you know what I mean? Carefully measured. Not at all. So in this goes. But you do, if you are gonna measure the way I measure, such as it is, you do wanna make sure you have a little extra flour on hand so that you can make your cookie batter dry enough. Okay, so now you've got this nice creamy mixture, right? Beautiful. Now we'll add to it a teaspoon each, half teaspoon each, sorry, baking powder, baking soda, a teaspoon total. These are gonna help the cookies to rise. And then we'll add 1.5 cups of flour, more or less. And about 1/2 cup of rolled oats. These cookies have great texture. And they have rolled oats, so they have fiber. It's whole wheat pastry flour, so it's better for you. Everything in here is low glycemic index. You've got great fat and protein from the peanut butter, but the best news is yet to come. The next thing we're gonna add into this is dark stevia-sweetened chocolate chips that are really delicious. But did you know that dark chocolate is a rich source of magnesium, zinc, and iron? It can help improve brain function, protect your skin from the sun, and lower cholesterol. I know, finally, something that we love that's good for us. In goes about 1 cup. You're gonna fold this in. You wanna mix just until your batter is just combined. Don't get so happy with mixing because the gluten in the flour will make your cookies tough. If you're using gluten-free flour, mix away. But if you're using a regular flour, you just want to mix until your cookies make a nice soft batter like this. Then you're going to take a parchment-lined baking sheet. And I like to use parchment because it keeps the cookie sheet clean and it doesn't let the cookies burn or stick. And then you're going to use a tablespoon scoop. You don't have to do this, but I like it because it helps to keep my cookies all the same size. And if that doesn't matter to you, I know what you're thinking. She doesn't measure, but she's OCD when it comes to the size of the cookies. The answer would be yes. So we're gonna do 3 across and 4 down. We'll get about 12 on a half sheet like this. And then because they're peanut butter cookies, we're gonna make a fork pattern in the shape of a cross. And do you know why you do that? I just found out, actually. You do it because it helps the cookie to bake more evenly since you've got both vegan butter and the added fat of peanut butter. It's kind of a brilliant thing. So now that the cookies are on the sheet, I usually like to go in and shake them a little before I hit them with a fork and make the little cross shapes. So now you take and you just make a crisscross on each cookie. And then these are gonna go in the oven, I'm gonna say for a minimum of 12 minutes, but you gotta check your oven. You know, if you're calibrated perfectly, they're gonna bake for 13 minutes, not a second more or less. If your oven's not calibrated well, you might bake longer or less. What you're looking for is the cookie to come out of the oven soft, sit on the sheet for a minute, and firm up. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go put these in the oven, and I'll be right back. So here they are after 13 minutes in the oven. You wanna let them sit for a minute or two, unless you can't wait. And then you're just gonna lay them on a lovely dish to cool. You could go to a cooling rack, but I tend to go right to the serving platter because I think it looks really nice to do that. And I like to have an uneven number on my dish. So, oops. Anyway, what are you waiting for? Let's get back to the cutting board and cook. And I'll see you next time on Christina Cooks.